I sing it in karaoke clubs because it's that, but I love it that much. And people are like, oh, God, Paula's singing the song again. But by the end of the song, everybody's up singing with me because of my energy and my passion. I'm like, this thing is cool. See how sick it is. It's got the guitar riff and the drums and the ballads, and you can pull the hand down, like, you know, really feel it. As long as you're getting into it, that energy is contagious. And
Welcome to the Wild Roads. I'm Shona Lee.
And I'm Paula Ivy. Join us for conversations about how we don't do stuff normal.
How we choose the wild roads of life. We want to show you all that's fun and possible, building businesses, making money,
navigating relationships and parenting, things we nerd out about,
and running at our wildest dreams.
All right, action. Welcome to today's podcast with Shona Lee and Paula the Ivy on Wild Roads. Shona Lee, what is your guilty pleasure song?
All right. Okay. Are you ready for it?
I'm rubbing my hands together as we speak in anticipation of how bad this is going to be.
This has come full circle. I used to listen to this in the early 90s, so I would have been like in year 12 kind of thing. I had this crush on this boy, and actually we're sort of dating, sort of not. We're together but not, kind of thing.
Just
and
friends. Pash friends?
And I used to,
friends?
Yeah. Friends with benefits. But I was like, so I used to listen to this song a lot because it was daggy then. Like, this is an old song, right? Okay. And it was daggy then. And all of a sudden, like, I grew up and, got married and entered a marriage and then had another, I've got a faux husband. We call that, it's a term of endearment, we call it faux wife, faux husband. It's just that we're not married, but we, pretty much are.
Pretty much are.
Yeah. And so, and it's kind of like I've done this full circle about learning about masculinity and, just that man that you chase after, the bad boy. And anyway. I've just started listening to it like on walks because it gets me pumping and especially if Simon and I have had a little tiff, or not a tiff, but I need to get out of the house sort of thing. Yeah. And I go for a walk and it's just like I listen to that song and man, I love him up when I get home. Okay, here it is.
It's Sean's sexy song. Tell us.
I think I can't the title. I call it Hero, but I think it's Where All the Heroes Gone, or Bonnie Tyler. I need a hero.
Oh,
yes. Wherever the good man gone.
Yes. I need a hero.
I'm up for the fight,
Oh my God, mine's a power ballad too.
Is it?
Yeah.
What is it?
I love that one. That one's a good one. That's so it's like going out to fight a war song, like 80s style, where a war means like Kevin Bacon in Footloose dancing his heart out.
Yes. Exactly. Or the tough guys getting off their Harleys and their leathers doing a dance, But hey, I'm hot for that, so
Oh, I'm hot for that too. It's everything. It's everything. Oh my God. Oh, Footloose is a good one too.
Oh yeah.
The song that he did. What's the song that he dances to on Footloose? The angry song.
Oh, I can't remember.
No, that's not a good one. No, mine. Yep, that's a good one. Mine's pretty terrible.
Stop procrastinating.
It's actually my karaoke song.
Ooh, yay.
So if we were having a late night and we ended up in a karaoke bar, which tends to happen, not so much these days, but back in the when I was in my 20s and stuff and we'd go out a lot, we'd always end up in a underground karaoke bar in the city somewhere. So underground, the karaoke bars in Sydney. Like you go down the stairs and there's little hallways with the little rooms and it's dodgy.
I think it's because no one wants to hear that shit.
So my one is Every Rose Has Its Thorn by Poison.
Oh my God. Oh, that brings back so many memories.
How good is that song? It's
oh
so
my
terrible.
God, it's good. It's so good. It's terrible.
It's
Actually,
like the ultimate, like, I was going to say Hold On by Wilson Phillips, but I think that's everybody's guilty pleasure. I don't know anybody that doesn't like that song.
Yeah, agreed.
But this, like, Every Rose, like, oh, it's just, there's so much feeling and there's like so much like, yeah, and the drums and like the wily guitar, like it has everything.
Yeah.
For like an epic faux rock star performance.
I so want to see you sing that up on a stage. Oh, that's great. That's great. I love it.
You'll have to take me to a dirty karaoke bar to see that one.
All right, you're on.
Love it.
Oh, that's so cool. And you know what? I think that's the perfect intro to what we're going to talk about today. It's kind of like that's so cool. That's so cool. It's not cool, but it's so cool because it's not cool. You know?
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Like you think it's really, really cool, but you know that it's not like publicly cool, but then when people see you make it cool, they're like, oh, that is cool.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Because it really is. And the coolness, you know, now that we're out of the schoolyard, it's kind of like the coolness is just the fact that we just be ourselves, the fact that we can laugh at ourselves, that we can, you know, just find that confidence and bravery just to put it all out into the world. And there's so many people that are probably, you know, under the covers just going, you know, I can't do that. But then you just give permission for people to just be whatever, you know. How many of people listen to Bonnie Tyler? I reckon there's heaps.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know?
For sure.
But yeah.
How many people are still obsessed with Poison?
For
sure.
Probably got the t-shirt up the back there.
Oh my gosh, I need a Poison t-shirt. I really do.
Oh, we need to bring them back in fashion, man.
The band t-shirts need to come back in fashion. They're so cool.
Oh yeah, yeah.
How good was it? Oh, I had so many band t-shirts back in the 90s. It was everywhere. It was everything. Like you'd go to, like, Brendan and I met in 2005. So Brendan, my husband, and I met back in 2005, like a million years ago. And like 2005 was like just past the 90s. It seems time is a funny thing. It seems so weird to say 2005. So weird.
Does.
It feels like yesterday, but at the same time, you're like, dude, that was so long ago. It's like 16 years ago. Like, what?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Like, we could go.
Anyway, so when we met in 2005, Brendan and I were both into going and seeing live music and all of the things. And every time we would go to a gig, I would always go and buy a t-shirt. And he was like, why do you always buy a t-shirt? I'm like, because band t-shirts are cool.
Yeah.
You go see a band and you buy their t-shirt. And he's like, but what if they're shit? Like, what if you don't like the band, like the thing? Because you buy it before the show. I was like, yeah, but I came because I liked the band. If they are crap, then that one becomes like a bed t-shirt, not a wearing out in public one.
Yeah.
That was actually something like before we started traveling and we had to get rid of a lot of the clothes because we had toxic mold all through our apartment before we left. We actually we couldn't keep a lot of stuff in storage. And a lot of like our clothes and stuff we were told to just get rid of, especially the old clothes. Like the older the clothes, the more it will, like the mold spores and stuff would be in there and the harder they would be to clean. And like throwing out all of my band t-shirts, I was like, remember when we went to see these guys?
Oh, that's harsh.
It was so hard.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And then you were cooler before it even became cool again, you know, because now that's where you're buying all the band t-shirts and not even have to go to the concert now.
I was ahead of my time.
You were.
I had to get rid of it all See, if I still had all my band t-shirts, I would be so super cool right now.
Yeah.
Because I have all like the bands. I'd have all the bands.
But you are so super, super cool right now. Like Paula the Ivy, you've got the vibe going on. You are super, super cool because you are just embracing yourself. You are documenting your life as you see it. You're documenting your passions. You're documenting all the things that you nerd about. We speak about that often. But you bring that, you bring that to the front. You're bringing that to the forefront where people are just embracing themselves. I'm blown away in the last probably 2 years, probably not even 2 years that I've known you and watched you work and worked beside you. Just the amount of women in particular that are embracing their own coolness, that are now, their confidence is beaming. They're just like we're not all packaged in this one cool group. It's just like there's just this amazing collective of women that are so confident now, that are still and like inspiring other people to do the same. Like you've just created this ripple effect of coolness, and it's not a labeled coolness because you got that t-shirt on. It's not a labeled coolness because you got your hair styled that way. It's not a labeled coolness because you wear silver jewelry and not gold, or just those sorts of things that we kind of think about. What do we, what should we do? What do we, look on Pinterest?
What do we need to do to be cool?
Yeah, that's right. And all it is being yourself, and honestly, it's just letting it all out and just owning yourself and who you are and all the things that life and experiences, heartbreaks, successes, all the things that make you who you are now are all the things that make you cool as.
100%.
It's just showing it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, well, the way that I see it is that what's cool are like trends, and like trends are always changing. So it has to be somebody that says this is cool or gets really into something. And this is what I believe what it is like the essence in which like you really get into something and you're like, this is awesome. And you're just like in the vibes of it. People go, that's cool because of the energy that you're in while you're doing the thing. Like it's not necessarily the thing, it's the way people are responding to something that makes it cool. So it's everyone's perception of it. Oh, that's cool, that's not cool. But not everybody's always going to agree on that. But one thing that you can do and you have control over is all of the things that you yourself connect to and what lights you up and what you could, talk about forever and ever and amen, because you nerd out about it and you're like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing ever and blah, blah, blah. You think it's cool. Yeah. But people will think it's cool with you, with your excitement and your enthusiasm about it. And that's the thing. Like if we all get excited about who we are and what we like, instead of trying to hide things and be like, oh, cringe. Well, it's just like one of my favorite all-time bands ever. Cringe. Yeah. That's not cool. I'm going to tell anybody about it. Like just embrace it. I sing it in karaoke clubs because of that, but I love it that much. And people are like, oh, God, Paula's singing the song again. But by the end of the song, everybody's up singing with me because of my energy and my passion. I'm like, this thing is cool. See how sick it is. It's got the guitar in and the drums and the ballads, and you can pull the hand down, like, really feel it. As long as you're getting into it, that energy is contagious. And I think, I love how you put that. Like, part of what I do is helping people feel that energy about who they are.
Yeah, definitely, because trends are there to inspire, not to dictate. And as soon as you feel dictated to on being a certain way, that is when you are really a bird in a cage, or you are just playing, you're living life, not yourself. And so, but when you're inspired by a trend, it's something that connects with you and something that makes you feel something. And so that is what that's what you're drawn to. So you be inspired by that, and you can mix a lot of different styles. You mix a lot of different energies, but you're right. It's the energy around it that you're magnetized to that creates that.
Yeah. And I guess you see that a lot with like styling and thinking about interiors, like your world of interior styling. I love the parallel there, because it's like that's what you help people do, is to be inspired by trends and see what they like, so you can create these homes that are an expression of who they are. So when they're at home, they feel like they're more just, they're surrounded by things that are just helping them express who they naturally be. And one of the things that I loved about working with you, because you helped me build this bedroom, and like we're still working on the lounge room and stuff, but it's that like there's no one style. It wasn't like, okay, so are you going to be Scandinavian? Are you going to be Bohemian? Are you going to be contemporary, French? I don't even know all the terms, right? Yeah. But it wasn't that. What wasn't the questions that you asked me? You said, what inspires you? What do you love? And I was like, I love nature. I love the ocean. I love jungle type vibes. I love, I love sunrises, sunsets. I love those earthy tones, but I also like the cool tones. And like as a photographer and as people that live near the beach, and we've got surfboards and things like that, it's like you bring all those elements that you already have and sort of use them as a way to express yourself as well. So like, for example, Brendan's surfboard is part of the decor in our room because he surfs, and it inspires him to keep surfing like more often because his board's already out. It's like, we'll go for a surf. But then it also connects more to like who we are. And, there's quite a few things that we've got from when we were traveling that, we bought out, and you helped me to style like this really weird bookshelf. And I've never styled a bookshelf in my life. And the one thing you said to me, I was like, Sean, help me. There's like a sad looking candle and 2 books on this bookshelf. I'm like, help me fill this out. I don't know what to do. And you're like, tell a story, like tell a Paula Ivy story with it. And I was like, oh, okay, I can do that. And before I knew it, I had styled this bookcase like a pro, because I wasn't focused on trying to put myself into a box for a certain style to make it look a certain way. I was using the things that I already had for telling my story.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. And so it's all the things that are inside you, all the things that make up who you are, where you've been, what you love. And even when it's evolving, when it's growing, it's that, like giving yourself permission to always follow that, to always follow what actually is true to you. And that is the cool part, because really, if we were all the same and we all just decided to jump in the cool pool, for instance, and we just stayed in there, how, like, it's just boring, it's just like vanilla, it's just, we really do need, and I think that's a part of growing up is that we don't see that when we're young, and we probably don't see that when we're in our 20s. And it's life experiences that get us to this point where it's just like, I appreciate you that is so inspired by something, the way you dress, the way you style your home, the way you style your brand, how you do business online. I appreciate it. It's not my thing. It's not my cup of tea, but I appreciate it, and I see you and acknowledge you, and I think you're really cool. I think that is awesome.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but I think the fear of looking uncool stops a lot of us from doing the things. Like, there's been moments where I was like, oh, I really want to do this thing, but I'm like, is anyone even gonna like that? Is that even cool? Like, are people gonna think I'm a massive dork or like an idiot or just like not even know what I'm talking about half the time? Like, I think that's one of the things that makes people popular and have a whole thing around something becoming cool, because that person has taken the chance and gone, oh, I feel really lit up by this thing. I'm going to follow it and be obsessed by it and share about it and just enjoy the ride. And then people jump onto that energy, and before you know it, they're popular doing that thing. and everybody else is like, oh, I want a piece of this too. I want to try it and all that sort of stuff. And before you know it, like that's how trends get started, because somebody has had the guts to go, you know what? I don't care if people think I look uncool right now. I'm just going to let everybody know how much I love this thing, because I love it and I obsess over it and it's awesome and it's lighting me up and it's helping me create more and it's helping me connect to who I am more and all those things. I think that it doesn't work when your intention is, oh, I'm going to make this thing cool.
Yes, that's true.
That's when it doesn't work. People like feel that and they go, oh, yeah, that's
right. Exactly. And I think and that's the difference with believing in it, like totally believing in what you're doing. And especially in real time when you have that energy around it and doing it straight away, but really believing in it rather than, okay, I've got an idea that could get me somewhere. And then, okay, I'm going to try and make people believe how cool it is. There's a difference there.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, I feel like there's a big difference in, you know, just trying something that's not really you, but you're going to try and make it cool, as opposed to, just really feeling it and being so passionate and lit up. Yeah. I love it.
It's so interesting because when you were saying before about being in school, like the whole thing, when you're that young, all you want to do is fit in and be like everybody else, and because it's safety with the tribe. If you're an outcast, you're on your own, you're weak, you're vulnerable, nobody wants to be the one left out. So we all try to like be like one another in order to fit in and to feel safe and to move with the herd and keep up with everybody. But then it's so interesting. Like now I love being different and I love celebrating who are doing things differently and having, you know, the guts to be like, I don't care what anybody thinks. I think this is amazing. So I'm going to share it with you. And it's so interesting that when we go to do that, there's still that primal instinct to be like, no, be like everybody else. If you stand out and you're different and you're doing your own thing all on your own, you're going to get picked off. You're weak, you're vulnerable, you're going to get attacked by a tiger. You're going to wander off into the bush and eat some poison berries, whatever the survival instinct in us tells us why we shouldn't be alone, why we need to stick with the herd. But I really do believe that, I say this often, is like when you want to be a leader, you go first, and it is scary and it is uncool. Like it feels like you're being really uncool and you're like, oh, everybody else is kind of going this way, but I'm feeling like I need to go this way. Like, and there's the fear of like pissing people off too. Like if you're doing something different and everybody's kind of on one bandwagon, and then you're like, oh, but there's this wagon over here that's kind of cool too. Like you don't want to, I feel that's where your energy behind why you're doing it is so important. Like you're not doing it just to ruffle feathers. You're not doing it just because I also have a rebel in me that likes to do things not like everybody else, because I'm like, well, if everybody's doing it that way, I'm going to do it differently. But, you know, when you go at it with that intention, you just look like an a-hole. Really.
Oh gosh, that's so fun. I love that. But that's the thing, right? It's like, you know, you can do that, but it's got to be your passion. You got to feel strongly about something. But it's just that fear of being alone, like you said. And I think that the more you put yourself out there, when we were talking about bold moves the other day, it's just like the more you put yourself out there, the more you get evidence that you're okay. And that people do follow you, and the right people follow you, and not just follow you as a leader, but they're encouraging you and embracing you, and sometimes fangirling over you. And it's just like, sometimes it's like, whoa, how are these people fangirling over me? You know, I'm not cool. You know, you know, it's like, how is this happening? This is weird. Like, have they got it wrong? Like, surely they've got it wrong. You know, all these things that are going on in your mind. It's just like, I've never been cool. What the heck? You know?
I know.
But it's a beautiful experience, and it's a beautiful time to be alive right now. And I think that's very cliche, but it actually is. It's a beautiful support network where people are dropping their egos and they're dropping their baggage, and they're willing to learn and change and adapt and encourage and support. And competition is depleting in our world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that the truth? Like, the more that you step into your own flavor of what it is that you do, rather than trying to stay up with the cool people and doing exactly everything that they're doing because, you know, you're in the same industry as them, and I'm a life coach too, and I'm a money empowerment coach too, and I'm a women's, like, I don't know, whatever coach too. Like, we put ourselves into these little boxes and then we try to do the same thing as what the leaders in our industry are doing because that's where we want to go. But they were so successful because, and you often hear the people that are the most successful say, there wasn't anybody when I started doing this.
Yeah.
It's usually a common story. Like, when I first started out in this industry, nobody was doing it this way.
Yes.
And now it's common because they led the way. They made it cool. They made they risked looking like an idiot, not knowing what they're doing, and having people try to tell them that they're doing it wrong and they're not going to be successful doing it that way because that's not how we do it. We do it this way. Everybody follow us. That's where, like, the change makers and the leaders, like, that's how they are born. The innovators are the ones that go, I see it like this, so I'm going to go this way. And I don't care if anybody comes with me or not. This is where my soul is leading me to go. And when you've got that mentality of, like, you're not hung up on how many people are going to follow you down that road, you'll turn around and you'll notice there's a whole pile of people just, like, right behind you and right beside you and even in front of you and all around you, and you're all just running together all of a sudden. You're like, yay, okay, we've got a party going on. Let's get going.
That's
karaoke. Where else do we go? But that's the thing. Like, I see it as
this is it.
Yeah, so many people see like certain industries as hierarchical. Hierarchy.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know the plural of that, but, like,
that has hierarchy.
It has hierarchy.
That's easy for me.
See, if I thought that not knowing all of the words was uncool, I would not have started a podcast with you. I'm just embracing the fact that I don't know some words sometimes.
I know, same. There's always a way around that.
There's always a way. But yeah, I see that as, like, people viewing things as very high, like, with the hierarchy, because they're like, oh, I'm at this level and I need to go to this level now, and then I do this and then I'm in line with these people and then blah, blah, blah. I don't see it like that. I see it as that there's like a big field and we're all just, like, wandering around this field doing our own thing.
Yeah.
And, like, there's no hierarchy. I think a lot of people think the income is the hierarchy. Like, oh, they're making more, so they're better.
They must be more intelligent, and
they're making more money. They're cooler than me.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
Money, I think, is another one for another day, Sean, that we can talk about.
I think so too. Absolutely.
Yeah, seeing it as, like, the way that somebody does the work, their work that they feel called to do is no higher or lower than how you feel called to do your work. Everybody's on their own. Like, when you do the work that you feel called to do, you're on your own spiritual journey with it. Yes. Whether you see yourself as a spiritual person or not, we're all spirit. We're all here having a human experience. What we need to learn in this lifetime will come up on our own journey, and when we get to learn it and how we get to learn it. That's why a lot of people selling strategies don't work for a lot of their people, because a lot of the customers, because everybody goes on their own journey with it. Everybody's got their own mentality around things, their own belief systems, their own experiences, their own perspectives on everything. Like, nobody has the exact same perspectives than anybody else. When you can connect to what you feel is right for you, you'll find your way. You won't not find your way. You'll find your way. It's just that nobody knows what your way looks like, and you don't either until you go through it.
You'll always land on your feet.
Yes.
And that's minimum. And then you'll be running. You'll be running, like, amazingly. Like, you know, if it's true to you, you're always going to be magical. Yeah.
You're always going to be okay. Like,
of course.
You just can't. There's no people. A lot of people that I work with, they're like, oh, I don't want to do the wrong thing, and I'm like, there's no wrong or right.
No.
It's just how you feel about it.
Yeah.
Does it feel right for you? Does it feel like a good move for you? then go for it. It doesn't mean that it's wrong or right.
That's right. It's owning it, and you really do inspire others to do the same, and it's so freeing, so empowering, so enlightening. It's just, you're just liberated, you're elated. Life is never better than when you're being yourself.
100%.
So on that note, maybe we should leave it at that.
I need a hero.
I'm calling out for a hero.
Every rose has its thorns. Oh, that's so applicable right now. Every rose does have its thorns.
That's right.
Just like every cowboy has a sad, sad song. They wouldn't be a country singer star if they didn't have a sad story to tell.
That's right.
They'd have no music.
Every night has its dawn.
Yeah. Yeah, you go through the dark night of the soul to get to the dawn. See, Bret Michaels, he knows everything.
He wasn't just hot. And he didn't just sing good songs.
Yeah, he does. Oh, I need to go listen to some Poison now.
Yeah. Oh, man. Wild Rose.
Wow.